All right, today we're going to crack the code on the revision techniques that top students actually use. We're talking about strategies to help you study smarter, not harder, especially when you can feel that exam pressure building up. Okay, let me ask you this. You ever study for hours? I mean, hours. You feel like you've absolutely nailed a topic, and then you wake up the next day and poof, it's just gone. That feeling, right, where all your hard work just seems to evaporate, it is honestly one of the most frustrating things about studying. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. There's actually a scientific reason for it, and it's called the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. Basically, it shows that the second you learn something new, your brain starts the process of forgetting it. The clock is literally always ticking. So our mission today, to figure out how to fight back against that curve. So how do we actually build a better study session? Let's kick things off with two really powerful techniques that are all about making your learning way more active and efficient. Okay, first up, active recall. Now, this is not your passive rereading or highlighting everything in sight. No. Think of it like a workout for your brain. It's the act of pulling information out of your head. Every single time you force yourself to remember a fact without peeking at your notes, you're making that connection in your brain stronger. It's like lifting a mental weight. And the best part? It's super simple to actually do. So after you've studied something, close your book. No, seriously, close it. Then grab a blank piece of paper and just write down everything you can remember about the topic. The last step, and this is key, is to open your book back up and see what you missed. Those gaps, that's what you need to focus on next. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. Most of us study by blocking. We do an hour of biology, then another hour of biology, and it feels productive, right? But it actually creates this false sense of confidence. The smarter way to do it is called interleaving. This is where you mix things up, a little bio, then switch to chem, then maybe some econ. By doing this, you're forcing your brain to change gears constantly. It has to work harder to find the right information, and that struggle is what builds real, flexible knowledge, which, by the way, is exactly what you need for an exam. All right, so we've figured out how to make our study sessions more active. But how do we make sure that info actually sticks around for weeks or even months later? That's where these long-term strategies come into play. And that brings us to spaced repetition. This is our number one weapon against that forgetting curve we talked about. So instead of cramming everything the night before, you strategically review information at specific, increasing intervals. Every time you do a review, you're basically hitting the reset button on that curve, pushing the memory deeper and deeper into your brain just as you're about to forget it. It's genius. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, here's a pretty standard schedule. Let's say you learn something new today. You'll do a quick review of it tomorrow. Then you wait 3 days and review it again. Then 7 days later. Then 14. It sounds almost too simple, but believe me, that specific timing is incredibly powerful for locking that knowledge in for good. All right, our next tool for long-term memory is called dual coding. And the idea here is actually really simple. Your brain processes words and pictures in 2 different channels. So when you combine them, like say you draw a diagram and explain it out loud, you're creating 2 different pathways to the same information. It's like having a main road and a backup route. If one is blocked, you can take the other. This is an absolute game changer for subjects like bio or geography. And the effect isn't small. Look at this. The data shows that combining visuals with text can boost your recall by up to 65%. 65%. That is a huge advantage. And all you have to do is change how you take your notes. Okay, so we've got these powerful learning techniques. We know how to make memories stick. But how do we use them strategically? How do we focus all this effort on what's actually going to be on the test? This is where you put on your detective hat. It's a technique called past paper patterning. And you're not just doing past papers for practice here. No, you're analyzing them. Take 3 to 5 old exams and look for patterns. What topics keep coming up? What kind of questions do they ask? You'd be amazed how predictable these exams can be once you start looking. And check this out. This is a perfect example of what you can find. Someone noticed that for a specific economics paper, the micro-evaluation question shows up as question 2 on paper 1 almost every single year. Finding these little hidden probabilities lets you focus your studying with surgical precision. This is what we mean by studying smarter. So, we've gone through some really powerful techniques, but honestly, they all depend on one single foundational habit.
Without this one thing, all their effectiveness just plummets. It's the one thing you absolutely cannot afford to skip.
Just look at this number, 30%. Pulling just one all-nighter can tank your memory retention by that much. And here's why. Sleep is when your brain actually saves your work. It's called memory consolidation. It's when all the stuff you learned gets filed away from short-term into long-term memory. Skipping sleep is basically like spending a whole day collecting important documents, and then, right at the end, just throwing a third of them straight into the garbage.
Okay, it's time to put all these pieces together. We've covered active learning, long-term memory, exam strategy, the works. So now, let's build your system. So here it is, your Elite Revision Toolkit. You've got active recall to pull information out of your brain, interleaving to mix things up and build flexible knowledge, dual coding, combining words and pictures, spaced repetition to beat that forgetting curve, past paper patterning to find the hidden clues in exams, and the foundation for everything, getting enough sleep. Put some all together and you have a system that's powerful, efficient, and way less stressful.
So, what's the next step? Look, don't just listen to this and think, that was interesting. You've got to take action. A really great place to start is to build your own spaced recall planner. The Study IB app is perfect for this, and you can even hop on their Discord to find templates that other top students are using. So really, the only question left is, which one of these are you going to try first?